I'll hang
Okay.
back and I'll let you go into that. I'll share my screen and then you can ask any questions or whatever. So go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to read this. I'm going to ask you questions. This is Acts chapter 26, verse 27. It says, King Agrippa, believest thou the prophets? What are the prophets, my brother?
The prophets are the holy prophets of the children of Israel.
So when he asked, do you believe the prophets? What was he talking about?
Well, I would assume the Torah, or not the Torah,
Okay.
more so the so-called Tanakh, the Nabayah.
So would you agree that King Agrippa was privy to the Torah?
Well, yeah, clearly by the text.
Oh, right. That's right. So would you agree he knew his position as an Edomite?
That I can't comment on. I'm not sure. I don't have the knowledge.
Well, I'm going to read it again. King Agrippa, believest thou the prophets? So if you believe the prophets, is it safe to assume you would know your judgment as your place as an Edomite?
I wouldn't say so because there's many.
Oh,
Christians...
you wouldn't say so. Okay,
I'll just elaborate on my answer. There's many Christians today that say or believe the prophets, but they don't correlate that with themselves. So no, go ahead.
Okay, well, I was talking about this contextual conversation.
Yeah, and I'm saying in context, there's an understanding where people can so-called believe in something, but not have the complete understanding. Like we believe in the scripture, but would you say we both have a complete understanding? I'll say I definitely don't.
Well, I didn't walk with Christ like Paul did at that time, like he was walking with Christ.
So I'm saying that people can go ahead.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Well, let's see if Paul lied and didn't have an understanding. It says, I know thou believest. Was Paul misunderstood here when he said, I know you believe in the prophets?
I can't comment on that. I can't go into King Agrippa's heart or mind and extract that understanding. We can assume yes or no.
Do you know?
Say that again. Ask the question again, sorry.
So when I'm going to read this again. It says, King Agrippa, believe thou the prophets, which we agree was the Torah, which contains prophecy and history.
Right.
And if you're a heathen, you should know your place, especially if you're privy to the Torah. I just don't understand how that's hard to understand. Then it says, I know thou believest. So I'm asking you, when Paul said, I know you believe in the prophets, this is a brother with discernment, and that's praying and fasting before he even went on this journey. And that's talking with Yahushua. So are you telling me right here when it says, I know you believe, when he said, I know you believe in the prophets, are you saying that Paul was misunderstood, brother?
As I said, I don't know. I don't have
you don't know. So you have no idea
Agrippa's...
what's going on in verse 27 by your own.
That's not what I said. No.
So do you know what's going on?
All right, brother. Let's not misrepresent each other.
I'm not done.
Okay, but if you're going to misrepresent me, I'm going to have to interrupt just to clarify for the audience.
Again. So I'm going to ask.
I'm telling you, you've misrepresented me. Let me clarify and we'll proceed. So when you said, was Paul mistaken? My answer is I can't go into King Agrippa's mind or heart to understand whether he was mistaken or not. Go ahead.
So you don't understand verse 27.
That's not what I said. I understand.
Well, you said you're not sure if you can. You can't read his heart.
That's not what I said. I said I can't. Sure. Can you read King Agrippa's heart? Yes or no?
No, I can't.
Okay, then we're on the
Peter
same
could,
page.
but Peter could.
Go ahead.
I mean, but yeah, Paul could right here. He said, I know you believe.
Go ahead.
So do you agree with Paul when he said, I know you believe?
No, because I don't know.
Oh, okay. You don't agree with the text. Verse 28.
That's all right, brother. I'm going to raise my voice because you're knowingly doing this.
That's crazy. Bro, you just said you didn't believe Paul with Paul. Paul
that's
said,
not
I know.
What I said. Bro, I said, you said, do you agree that he knows that he believes? If I said, and you said, we don't know the heart and mind of Agrippa, can I know if he believes or not? No, nothing to do with whether I agree with the text or not. So let's not misrepresent nor interrupt my argument when I'm clarifying for an audience. So what?
Okay,
go ahead, bro.
So you don't agree with Paul when he said, I know you believe.
I said I'm unsure. Not that I disagree nor agree. I don't know. That's the third time I'll answer that.
Okay, I got you.
Or you can harp on
it. Yeah, we'll move on, even though it's right here. Okay, verse 28. Then King Agrippa said unto Paul, thou almost persuade me to be a Christian. And Paul said, I wish to God. What I would to God? What does that mean when Paul said I would to God?
It means pray. He prayed.
What does that mean when Paul said I would to God?
It means pray. He prays to the Most High.
He prays to the Most High God that he will follow the Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an Edomite by your own admission.
I don't think I said that, but Khan.
Oh, is King Agrippa an Edomite?
Khan.
Oh, he's an so okay. So you agree that Paul's praying that an Edomite would follow the Messiah. But you don't agree that Paul. You're not sure. You're not sure When
I'm not sure
what. In verse 27, when he said, "I know you believe the prophets," you said you're not sure what he's saying right there, right?
Did I say I'm not sure what he's saying, or did I say I'm not sure because I don't know because I can't read King Agrippa's heart and mind? Be honest with
No.
Be
I
honest
wasn't
with
talking
yourself. Be
about
honest with the Most High, bro.
You got no. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when I was asking in the sense if you agree with Paul when he said, "I know you believe," because Paul said, "I know."
What did I say, brother? Because this is getting
You
really
said,
long.
that's what I'm saying. I thought you said.
All right. Well, let me clarify then.
Sure.
Let me clarify. I said I don't know. Why did I say that? Because just like you, we can't go in King Agrippa's heart and mind to understand this, and you agreed to that. So let's proceed with the understanding that I agree with the text, but I can actually admit that I don't know whether King Agrippa believed or not. Let's go ahead.
Okay, I was just trying to get clarification. So I got one more verse for
Agrippa. Now, do you guys know who Agrippa's descendants or his ancestors were? Do you know who Agrippa's ancestors were?
Just listen.
Okay. Agrippa's ancestors were of Idumea. And you know what it means in Greek, if somebody's ancestors were from Idumea, right? It means, under the old language, they were Edomites. Now, you guys have a 12-tribe chart that you've inherited from Bivens and Ariyah. And on that 12-tribe chart, you have nations that you think are Israel. Then you have another thing called the 18 Nations Breakdown, which is right on the IUIC website, Israel Unite. And on there, you have nations you believe are essentially non-elect nations. These are ethnic groups of people who cannot be saved. Now, you guys believe that the Edomites are one of the nations or groups of people that cannot be saved, right?
This key part
right here. Acts 26, verse 28. Agrippa, who's an Edomite, said to Paul, "Are you going to persuade me to become a Christian so easily?" That's what he says to him. And now look what Paul says. "I wish before God," replied Paul, "that whether easily or with difficulty, not only you," so that's an affirmative. Does it say in the military? That's an affirmative. He said, "You want me to become a Christian?" Paul says, "I wish before God." That's a way to say I pray to God about this. So that's an affirmative. Then he double affirmatives. Makes a double affirmative when he says this. Whether easily or with difficulty, not only you, but all who listen to me today might become as I am. Now here's what's so crazy about that. If he just said you might be able to, find some way out of it. Maybe, I still don't think you could, because Agrippa's clearly of Idumea. But he says, all who hear me today. Now, you gentlemen know that everybody in that room with Agrippa, especially considering we know Festus is in the room, those are not all Jews. That single-handedly deconstructs Hebrew Israelism. It single-handedly destroys your soteriology. It single-handedly discombobulates your eschatology. It single-handedly does away with it. So the question is, when you guys have answers, I have a question. Who are you obeying right now? What I mean by that is this. If you can't speak with me, and I'm asking you to give a defense for your beliefs, if you can't speak to me or out and give a defense for your beliefs, are you obeying Nathaniel and Ithan, Yabusup, or are you obeying Jesus Christ? Can I show you a verse that shows you're not obeying Jesus Christ by not giving an answer? I'll show you right here. It's in 1 Peter. So we turn to 1 Peter, who is an apostle, and we look at 1 Peter 3:15, and you know what he says? It says, "In your hearts regard Christ the Lord as holy, ready at any time to give a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason to the hope that is in you." But you brothers did not give a defense. You didn't obey 1 Peter 3:15. God bless you.
I'm going to say,
1 Peter 3:15. God bless you.
I'm going to say what?
Why did Paul go to King Agrippa and ask him and say statements like, "Hey, do you believe in the prophets?" And then Paul said, "King Agrippa, I know you believe in the prophets, and I wish you were a Christian." Why did he say that to an Edomite?
I don't know why Paul would say that to an Edomite.
Oh, don't worry about it. Next question.
Is it in the scriptures why he said it to an Edomite?
Yeah, well, yes, it is. Let's go to Acts chapter 9 and 15. Yahushua told him to go bear my name before the Gentiles, the children of Israel, and the kings. So yeah, there is a reason why they can get salvation according to the Bible itself. But you can't answer why he went to an Edomite, so it seems fishy. Now you're on that mission.
It seems fishy, huh? What that got to do with salvation?
Hey man, I got a question for both of you